Hey everyone, I am going to share another Touched by Spirit, and we're going to call it the passenger seat message. This really filled my heart. So, loss is such a deep and personal thing, and we all experience it so differently. Grieving is unique for every single one of us. And this week, I saw a longtime client, we'll call her Helen. And she lost her partner 4 years ago to the exact day of her session. And her husband had passed from cancer. And she struggled deeply with his loss, which is absolutely understandable. They were one of those couples that were just meant to be together, that if you believe in soulmates or twin flames, that's the kind of vibe that they gave, the kind of love you feel in your bones. And Helen's tried so hard over the years to connect, to feel him, to know he's still around. But when grief takes hold that strongly, it can block everything else even when spirit is right there. So we just can't always see or feel or hear it, and that can be devastating to us. So when she was expressing this to me in our reading, I told her a story. When my mom passed this March, I had already been living with the grief of losing my son Ryan, and it had become part of me. My grief for him is unwavering. It doesn't stop. I can laugh, I can love, I can do all the things, and I can show up for people, but truthfully, I'm not okay. And I know this, and I recognize this, and I work within it, that the loss is like astronomical, and that's my truth. Okay. So when mom passed, I couldn't seem to access that same kind of grief like the rest of my family did. I knew she was with Ryan. That was comforting. I told myself there was peace in that. But the next day, I had a tattoo booked with my best friend Mel, and I had mom's name in script with the O as a red heart. And I don't know if you can even see it, but there it is, mom. And after dropping off Mel from the tattoo, I started driving away, and suddenly my seatbelt alarm started going off. Ding, 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 ding. I checked everything. I checked my seatbelt. I looked over at the passenger seat to see sometimes, if you put something heavy on the seatbelt, the sensor goes off. And I kept thinking, what is going on here? Because the passenger seat was empty, nothing on it. It kept going though. Ding, 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 ding. About 6 minutes of this constant dinging in the car telling me that the seatbelt was going on. And then I felt her. It was clear as a bell, my mom, and I said out loud, "Hey, mom, thanks for letting me know you made it. Hope you and Ryan had a great reunion." And the alarm stopped instantly. Instantly. That was it. I'd acknowledged that's all she wanted. So I told Helen this story because I wanted her to know that even those of us that work with spirit like all day long, we don't always get the same messages that others get. We don't always recognize it. We still can miss the signs, even when they're like right in front of us. If my mom hadn't been so persistent, I probably would have shrugged it off, even though I am one who talks about this kind of stuff all the time. So Helen left our session, and not long after, I got a text from her. I was in the middle of another reading, and she said, "Tara, I had to pull over. My passenger seat alarm just started going off." Now, you tell me that spirit doesn't know exactly what it's doing, right? Her husband heard her pain, her longing, and he took the same sign my mom had used. He found a way to tell her, "I'm still here, right beside you." Okay? Right beside you. And I guarantee you, Helen felt lighter right away, comfortable, because that's what spirit does. It brings comfort when we need it most. I've always felt that there's a difference between mourning and grieving. Mourning is that deep guttural ache that sits in your chest when loss first hits. It's raw, it's all consuming. Some people move from mourning into grieving where it softens, where they can begin to carry the memory with peace. But some of us, we stay in mourning for longer, forever. We keep living, but that ache never truly fades. And that's okay. There's no right way to grieve, no timeline, no expectation. What matters most is remembering that our loved ones are still around us, especially when we're in that deep mourning stage. That's when they're the closest. That's when they're holding us the tightest, even if we can't see them. So, you know what? Love each other through the loss. Support one another without judgment, without trying to fix it, and without expectation, because spirit is still right there, nudging us, dinging the seatbelt alarm, if you will, if that's what they have to do, just to remind us that they are there and that they still love us and they still care about us. And that's really what it's all about, that connection. And not everyone will feel it. And sometimes it will feel like it has slipped away, but it's always there. Touched by spirit stories, they remind us that spirit always finds a way to be heard. We just have to be open to hearing it.